bank, you'll pay for 15 years. What if you die today? Who will pay for that money? Why? Your debt level shows your survival level. Number 2, kind of Christian. The Christian who is living by the worldly standards. The Christian living by the worldly principles, worldly standards, worldly beliefs. This one is a Christian who cannot separate himself and be different. He's still struggling with his customs, with his cultures. He's still struggling with, we want to make you an elder. Is that something like that in here? You want to be made an elder, so they take you through the tradition. It's called the what? The Kiama. He's a Christian, but still in Kiama. He's still being made a leader through the process of sacrifice. You know, when my mother died at the age of 92. So we went to bury her. So I said, my mother she must be buried within 1 week. So I told my sisters, if you can go home, you go, but in 1 week's time, we'll bury the mama. We'll bury my mother. I'm the last born. So they thought this man is joking. You know, they still see me as a child. They see me as that young child they used to cane when I was young. So I'm their youngest. So I told them, we are going to bury mom in 1 month. So, in my custom, Luo land, if somebody dies, you go to the mortuary, you bring them home, and they sleep. You don't bury immediately. Unamweka kwa nyumba yake, analala kwa hiyo nyumba yake kwanza. Watu wanakuja kumuona ndani ya hiyo nyumba. So when I went home, I told them, I went home on a Sunday, and we were burying on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I told the people, we are not going to the mortuary on Monday. We'll go on Tuesday in the morning. Na tukirudi hapa, tutapita na hiyo mwili mpaka kwa kaburi. Tutamuzika. Tutamuzika hapa. They told me, you want a curse? Do you know the elders can sit down and speak a word against you? I asked them, when you speak a word, who will die? You! I'm ready to die. I'm ready to die. Mimi nitakufa. Kama ni hiyo ninafanya nini? Then the pastor, where my mother used to go to worship, refused to bury her. They say, we are not going to bury that mama. Mpaka ufuate kile wazee wanasema. Nikamwambia hata mimi ni preacher. I preach the word every day. So if the pastor cannot bury, I will preach and bury. And I told my wife, be prepared. This village is about to see what they have never seen. They never seen. So we came from the mortuary, we put the body next to the kaburi. And all of a sudden, my pastor in Nairobi comes. They comes, and I tell them, now you can bury. Yule pastor wa mama yangu alikaa hapo, tukazika. I am still alive. The mzee who told me I will die is now dead. I'm still alive. Praise the Lord. That mzee now is what? Can you listen to me for a moment? These are Christians who believe, but they cannot separate themselves from the world. He is a Christian, but he still has mpango wa kando. The only thing you know, he has a mpango wa kando. No one can touch his phone. The phone has 5 passwords. Ukikuza tu simu yake hivi anasema wacha, hebu ngoja. This Christian, when he want to serve God in the church, he first asks, how much are you going to pay? So today we have in our churches instrumentalists, pianists, choir leaders are on salary. They're on salary because they are Christians living worldly principles. Everything they do for God, they first ask, how much can we get? How much? Before they spend extra time in the school, the principal must convince them, we'll give you lunch, we'll give you transport, we'll give you this. The reason why they did not come here is not because they are busy. They didn't come because George did not tell them they'll be sitting allowance. He didn't say in his letter, transport and travels will be refunded. If he had said that, we'll not have place for people here. These are people, when they give money to God, they are waiting to be paid back. When they go to pray, they say, Father, I just gave you 1,000 the other day. So I gave you 1,000. So I'm expecting 10,000. To them, it is charity sweepstake. They are doing betika na Mungu. Wako kwa betika. Do you know the betting thing? They are betting with God. And that's why pastors will stand and say, God will give you according to how much you give. If you give 1,000, just expect like 200. So people give because your pastor is also just, he's a survivor. He survives with people's offering. Wewe ni survivor, mchungaji wako pia ni nini? Ni survivor. That church is crazy. They never preach the gospel. The churches. They live by worldly principles. That is what killed Esau. Esau was not just a survivor. He lived his life for this life. He never had anything with eternity. They say in Kenya that the country where prosperity gospel has lasted longest is Kenya. The prosperity gospel is that gospel which tell you that the blessing of God is material blessing. You must drive the latest car. By now, you should have built a mansionette. By now, your children should not be going to the hospital. Those kind of messages. So they are entertaining. But they do not tell you the place of your soul in eternity. They will never tell you that. So our schools are burning, are being destroyed not because the principal is bad, not because the students are bad. It will be destroyed if that staff room is full of Christians who are just surviving or they live by worldly principles. The third one. Are you following? So if you are expecting me to preach like your pastor, I'm not your pastor. But I am your pastor because I'm the bishop of high school ministries in Kenya. That's why I preach like this one. Now, the third kind of person is the Christian who is filled with the Holy Spirit. Filled with the Holy Spirit. The Christian who is filled with the Holy Spirit. This Christian speaks in tongues. And if you don't speak in tongues, he thinks you're not born again. He speaks in tongues. He studied the Bible. He wakes up in the morning and pray. He attend all trainings. The one organized by his church, even the one he's attending now, he has attended 3 earlier before this one. This is the 4th one. In 1 week. So every training the guy goes, and in those training they make notes. They make notes, very good notes. And after the preachers preach, they will ask, send us your notes. Don't ask me because I don't know what I'm going to send you. You see, I even don't have notes here. Now, then after training, they will ask, is there a certificate?